What is Spirit? Where are you?
This is the dark generation. What's happening
It probably
here?
can't handle the evil.
Yeah, he's hiding in the dark. Oh, there he is. There he is. He's throwing things down. He's so mad. All right.
Yeah. I'm kidding. That was a beautiful poem. I'm just,
Thank you. This was real.
I needed the hope today and the humor. Yeah.
All right. We got both in one jar. Humor and hope. We got both in one jar.
In one jar. What was the chair remark where you were apologizing to the chairs?
I was just making stuff up.
I like that. That was actually really, that was kind of very brilliant.
That started me off.
There's a lot of empty chairs. I
Well,
mean, we
the
can't
can
hold
go
these-
and
one of
you
these
shit
days
on
we'll
me,
come
and
in here and the entire place will be filled. You know? But I won't be here. I'll be sleeping like I usually do. All right. Zach Weiss, Z.M. Wise. He's the famous man of the hour. And he has been published in many journals.
In that case, hope I don't disappoint.
Published. You want a Pulitzer.
So just for the heck of it, I think I'll sit for this one.
Sitting is for winners.
Well, then, you know, I've got nothing, so I'm just going to let that slide. Alright, so I just recently got back from an Stewart concert, and for the second time, it was a genuine pleasure to meet him. With Bowie gone, Al Stewart's my favorite living musician, and I'm going to read the lyrics to one of his songs. It's about the German invasion in Russia during World War II. It's called Roads to Moscow. They crossed over the border the hour before dawn, moving in lines through the day. Most of our planes were destroyed on the ground where they lay. Waiting for orders we held in the wood, word from the front never came. By evening the sound of the gunfire was miles away. Softly we moved through the shadows, slip away through the trees, crossing their lines in the mists in the fields, on our hands and our knees, and all that I ever was able to see. The fire in the air, glowing red silhouetting, the smoke and the breeze. All summer they drove us back through the Ukraine. Smolensk and Vyazma soon fell. By autumn we stood with our backs to the town of Orel. Closer and closer to Moscow they come, riding the wind like a bell. General Guderian stands at the crest of the hill. Winter brought with her the rains, oceans of mud filled the roads, gluing the tracks of their tanks to the ground with a sky filled with snow. And all that I ever was able to see, the fire in the air, glowing red, silhouetting the snow on the breeze. In the footsteps of Napoleon, the shadow figures stagger through the winter, falling back before the gates of Moscow. Standing in the wings like an avenger, and far away beyond their lines, the partisans are stirring in the forest, coming unexpectedly upon their outposts, growing like a promise. You'll never know which way to turn, which way to look. You'll never see us as we're stealing through the blackness of the night. You'll never know, you'll never hear us. And the evening sings in a voice of amber, the dawn is surely coming. The morning roads lead to Stalingrad, and the sky is softly humming. Two broken tigers on fire in the night flicker their souls to the wind. We wait in lines for the final approach to begin. It's been almost 4 years that I've carried a gun. At home, it'll almost be spring. The flames of the tigers are lighting the road to Berlin. Quickly we move through the ruins that bow to the ground. The old men and children they send out to face us, they can't slow us down. And all that I ever was able to see, the eyes of the city are opening now. It's the end of the dream. I'm coming home, now you can taste it in the wind. The war is over. And I listen to the clicking of the train wheels as we roll across the border. And now they ask me of the time that I was caught behind their lines and taken prisoner. They only held me for a day, a lucky break, I say. They turn and listen closer. I'll never know why I was taken from the line and all the others to board a special train and journey deep into the heart of Holy Russia. And it's cold and damp and the transit camp, and the air is still and sullen. And the pale sun of October whispers the snow will soon be coming. And I wonder when I'll be home again. And the morning answers never. And the evening sighs and the steely Russian skies go on forever.
Well,
Nice.
Stewart for that. Um, So a little short piece by Allen Ginsberg called Fourth Floor, Dawn, Up All Night, Writing Letters. Pigeons shake their wings in the copper church roof. Out my window across the street, a bird perched on the cross surveys the city's blue-gray clouds. Larry Rivers will come at 10 a.m. and take my picture. I'm taking your picture, pigeons. I'm writing you down, Dawn. I'm immortalizing your exhaust, Avenue A bus. Oh, thought, now you'll have to think the same thing forever. And then, before I read this piece by me, there's this book that TZ Press published a while back called Rosary of Latitudes by Usha Kella. If you have not checked that out, please do yourself a favor and buy a copy. The entire process of making that book was just incredibly amazing, and she splits up the book in between sections of different countries around the world, poetry and prose.
And she read some of her poetry before the House of Lords in England. So
that's right.
He was invited to
That's right. She just recently returned from England, actually. So this is one of my Illinois poems.
She knows Anne Waldman personally.
She does. She certainly does. This is one of my Illinois poems. I recently finished writing a book of 80 Illinois poems just to commemorate the great state I was. It's kind of funny because growing up here, I saw a lot of people had Texas pride, and I loved that so much, and just made me proud from where I'm from. So this is called Wheeling Wielder, and this is actually published in an anthology called Poetic Hustles Volume 2, Life Matters. It's coming out December 16th. That's end of commercial. I feel really dirty now.
You've always been dirty.
An outcry is set on ice. All village documents have been handcocked and finalized. Tortuous faces, disfigured and moaning in agonizing ways, for they are pedestrians of insanity, never to hold yielding hands, and always taken by gusts of willful wind. A bard without a pen is a knight without sword or shield. Scrolls have been burned, parchment has run empty, and there are no more left to wield. Anarchy in Wheeling's gravel streets, youth poets chanting, it's a condemnation, a rubber civilization. Death swiftest death to the dealer of needles across the way, until the corpse's flesh has been peeled, raw, uncut emotions cast aside, muffled laughs of infatuation, rolling lovers tumble down the field, whirring hum of an elated engine on its first course. Two bystanders share a meal, neo-paganistic ritual, beating the skinned drum as fast as the northern heart's shade of teal. Cowardice splurge near the supermarket, bearded and bonneted poets crying, all polychromatic souls afloat, bleeding a crimson red and revealing a spectral light. Poetry lives.
Okay.
Anyone have
I thought it was a nice town. Thanks.